Hey everyone, it's Renee, and this is
Ressa.
and she's excited to be here, and so am I. I'm sharing with you some good news, bad news. Bad news is that my husband says, oh, the GFI tripped, and I'm like, whoa, stop, GFI, I don't know much about electricity, but I know that's not good. So the freezer was partially thawing, and I was like, crying, no, but that always means something good. So, hey Renee. So most of it was salvageable. A lot of it was stuff that I could just throw and be okay with, but there was a bunch of chicken, and I'm like, oh my stars, I don't need all this chicken right now. So yesterday I decided to grill a bunch of chicken breasts, like grilled chicken for like 80 people. And so here's kind of what it looks like, and we broke up some chicken breasts. And then what I did is popped it in the blender today after it cooled off. And so I just blitzed it in the blender so it's all shredded up. And then what I'm going to do is put in some of this like verde sauce. I love it, and it's a little bit spicy, but it has really good flavor. And there's a Mexican soup that calls for this, and you add this with your chicken and your chicken broth and maybe your sauteed veggies or whatever. But what I'm getting at is that we can save ourselves a lot of time on those weeknights when we want to have that, but we don't want to start out with the chicken and the sauce. And then plus this sauce, it only keeps for like a couple weeks in the fridge and it goes bad, unlike regular salsa. So I feel like if you open this jar and have a plan for it later, then you're not wasting an entire jar of this sauce, because I really like it. So what I'm going to do here is, this is the freezer hack part that we're getting in on. So I have this bag of shredded up chicken that I've used with my blender. She's gonna hold it for me. And I'm going to pour in, I don't know, half the jar. I'm not really sure. This is kind of spicy, but again, if you're making a kettle of soup and it calls for chicken broth, then you won't add it later. So what you're going to do, and I do this with when I'm making soup bones and things and prepping for chicken soup, is I'll get this all sealed up, and then I'll show you what I'll do. Is kind of flatten it, and I'll probably, when I go off air, flatten this out again, and kind of coat all of the chicken in the sauce, so that when it's lying flat in the freezer, most of the chicken has a liquid covering it, so that it keeps it from getting freezer burned. It's like an extra insurance policy. And then I will label this, put it in the freezer. Now, the kicker is the husband goes down and doesn't know what this is, especially if you label it. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I finally have gotten up the courage to do it. And I made myself an inventory sheet. I know. Now I'm gonna have to stick with it. But it has what it is, the date that I made it, the best buy dates, like when we should probably use that, and maybe special instructions, and then when you took it out. That's gonna be the follow through, when you check it off. So there's a vegetable category, main dishes, and randoms. For me, I'm random, like soup broth, you know, all that kind of stuff. Hey, Jenny. So I do have a recipe for this soup that I have used. It's a really great light one that can be customized. But if you'd also like this, there were a bunch on Pinterest, but they wanted me to download this app, these drivers, this, and I get kind of scared of that, so I just made one, and I'm gonna make it look pretty. So if you want this sheet, let me know. If you want the recipe for this, let me know. And if you have any really great hacks that you've discovered from your freezer pitfalls, you can let us know that too, because life happens, right? So here's to making lemonade out of lemon, and stay tuned for what we can do with this chicken, because I found a really good chicken salad recipe online for later in the week. So here's to Tuesday.